All right, welcome everyone to Bhangra and the Burgh 14, the virtual showcase. I'm Suraj Nair.
I'm Neha Sridhar.
And I am Ishika Kasliwal, and we are this year's Bhangra and the Burgh co-directors.
We hope you are all safe and healthy. We are so excited to have you as part of this showcase, a first of its kind for Bhangra and the Burgh.
None of us, especially us co-directors, anticipated hosting an event anything like tonight. Exactly 1 year ago, we were envisioning a competition with live performances, a fantastic audience, and even an after party to close out the night.
However, after months of quarantine and many long discussions later, we decided to make the shift to a virtual showcase format, and we couldn't be more excited to present these 19 Bhangra teams from 17 cities across the globe, not to mention 7 local Pittsburgh exhibition performances.
As a nonprofit organization, Bhangra and the Burgh typically donates its proceeds to a local Pittsburgh charity. However, this year, to make our reach both local and global, we've decided to donate to both the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank and Thus Fund Network.
As a Pittsburgh competition, giving back to our local community means so much to us, and the food bank has made amazing strides in combating food insecurity, especially during the pandemic. A $1 donation provides 5 meals to a person in need, meaning any donation will have a definite lasting impact.
As a Bhangra competition, we believe it is pertinent to recognize the farmers that are currently fighting for their rights and environmental justice in India. Thus Fund Network is an organization with the goal of giving back to the Sikh community, powered by activists both in North America and India. And Thus Fund's Save Our Farmers projects allows us to directly donate to these farmers in need.
Bhangra and the Burgh stands in solidarity with India's farmers, and we encourage you to continue to shed light on the hardships they face and educate others on the issues currently occurring in India. If you can, please donate to both the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank and Thus Fund Network. There will be reminders throughout the showcase with direct donation links to both charities.
We hope you enjoy watching these amazing teams as much as our entire board enjoyed putting together the showcase. Also, all of the music played in between performances are from our official BIB14 mixtape by Tycoon. The link will be in the description down below.
Enjoy the showcase, and to start, we have the national anthems of both the United States and India.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तब जय गाता जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
ਲੋਕੀ ਐਣਾ ਸੀ ਸੁਭਾ ਮੁੱਢ ਤੋਂ ਕਈਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੀ ਬੈੱਡ ਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਗੋਡੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਮਾਰੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਚ ਸੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਚੰਗਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਆਇਆ ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਗੋਡੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਬੰਨਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਹੱਕ ਹੱਥਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਘਰ ਤੇਰੇ ਪੈਰੀ ਹੁਣ ਮੈੜ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਚੱਕਿਆ
This year, Bhangra and the Burgh will be supporting DasVan Network.
DasVan Network is a nonprofit organization
powered by organizers in both North America and India,
with the goal of enhancing the Sikh community.
Throughout the years, they have operated as a non-religious entity,
focused on furthering humanity as a whole, a concept that is central to Sikhism.
This organization has given community members, other organizations,
and supporters from all over the world a platform
to donate and raise money for a variety of projects inside Punjab.
In light of recent events, the DasVan Network launched the Save Our Farmers project
in collaboration with United Sikhs.
One key initiative of this project is to provide protesters with the financial
and medical assistance to sustain their fight.
The other is to spread awareness about pieces of legislation
that leave farmers vulnerable to exploitation by large private corporations.
Every donation, small or large, can be beneficial to the DasVan Network
and their efforts in aiding the farmers in Punjab.
As an organization that so greatly appreciates and involves Punjabi culture,
it is our duty to help as much as we can.
We strongly encourage all of you to do the same.
And join us in our efforts to support the Save Our Farmers project.
For more information about the DasVan Network and their ongoing initiatives,
visit www.dvnetwork.org.
Thank you for all of your support thus far.
And enjoy the rest of the showcase.
She's in love with who I am. Back in high school, I used to bust it to the dance. Now I hit the FBO with duffels in my hands. I did have a Zen, 13 hours till I land. I did have a Zen, 13 hours.
Performing first, from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, we have UNC Bhangra Elite.
Are you ready?
Let's dance.
Like
Performing next from Rochester, New York, we have Rochester Bhangra.
Is tight.
Performing next from Colorado, we have Colorado Bhangra team.
E ho trovato l'invaso, oh partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di
2, 3 into the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door.
ਦੂਰੋਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ ਦਿੱਲੀ ਦੇ ਕਈ ਬਾਰਡਰਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਇਹ ਭੁਲੇਖਾ ਲੱਗ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਲੇ ਲੱਗਿਆ। ਲਾਗੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਤਾਂ ਕਈ ਹਜ਼ਾਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਕੋਨੇ-ਕੋਨੇ 'ਚੋਂ ਆਏ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਵਸੇ।
ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ
ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਲੜਾਈ ਲਈ ਲੜ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਇਸ ਲੜਾਈ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਹਥਿਆਰ ਬੰਦੂਕਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ, ਸੋਟੀਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਹਥਿਆਰ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਪੂਰੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਦੇ ਛਕਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ।
ਤੁਧ ਬੇਨ
For our first exhibition performance, we have CMU Abhinaya.
Performing next from New York, New York, we have Columbia Bhangra.
Performing next from New England, we have New England Bhangra Club.
Tahorat.
Next up, from Detroit, Michigan, we have Michigan De Rang.
This is one of the busiest highways leading to Delhi. It's been blocked for weeks. Tens of thousands of farmers from the northern states of India have marched to the capital city to protest farming reforms. They've covered at least 5 major highways around the city. The police met them with tear gas and water cannons, but they made it through and have now set up camp in and around Delhi.
6 महीने का राशन ले गए हैं पीछे घर वालों की हल्लाशेरी बहुत है कि हाँ डटे रहो मुड़का नहीं हो
हमने अपना धरना शांतिपूर्वक करना है चाहे हमारे 6 महीने लगो साल लगो हमने कोई दिक्कत नहीं है
ये कल को हमको भेज देते हैं तो हम कल को चले जाएंगे हम लंबे प्रोग्राम देख आप देखो ट्रालियां पर छतें डाली हुई है.
This is all happening because Prime Minister Modi's government has passed new farming laws that will change how the agricultural industry has worked for decades. And in a country of 1.4 billion people, where agricultural workers make up half of the labor force, the repercussions of those laws could be devastating. In the 1960s, India, a recently independent country, was struggling to produce enough food for its citizens. A string of droughts made things worse, causing devastating famines. So the government stepped in to modernize farming and increase the food supply in what was called the Green Revolution. They brought in US advisors to help boost the production of rice and wheat. Together, they ended up overusing chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and irrigation, causing large plots of land to become infertile. Many crops suffered. Some nearly disappeared. But rice and wheat production soared. And soon, India went from having a food crisis to having a food surplus. It was in this context that India also developed a nationwide food marketing system to ensure fair prices. It's a complex system, and it differs from state to state, but here's one way to understand it. It starts with farmers bringing their crops here, to wholesale markets locally known as mundis. The farmers then sell those crops to traders through open auctions with transparent pricing. Prices can also be informed by the minimum support price, or MSP, a government price for crops like rice, cotton, wheat. The government only buys a couple of crops at these prices in certain states, but those prices can still serve as a benchmark. The crops then go to secondary market or are stored by the buyers before they are sent out for future sales. It's not a perfect system, though.
Local traders do end up colluding with each other. The auctions actually are not competitive bidding.
But for the most part, the system works on a large scale because there's oversight that aims to protect farmers by giving them market standards.
They've been designed keeping in mind the fact that farmers are the weakest link and they can be exploited in numerous ways.
Over the years, state reforms have gradually redefined and regulated markets in different ways across India. In Punjab and Haryana, for example, they have become a vital part of the industry, and farmers here have the highest incomes in the country. But in the state of Bihar, markets were eliminated in 2006, and the farmers here are still ranked the poorest in India by income. And all of this is happening while there's a bigger farming crisis. The money in farming is disappearing. Since the days of the Green Revolution, agriculture has gone from accounting for nearly 50% of the economy to just 15%, meaning millions of farmers already have trouble making ends meet in this shrinking economy. More than half of India's farming households are in debt, and this debt has contributed to a suicide crisis. In the last 2 years, more than 20,000 farmers have died by suicide. Because of this economic hardship, farmers have been asking for reforms for decades. But this year, instead of providing more protections for this vulnerable community, the central government went in the opposite direction.
And farmers fear that the direction in which the reforms are happening are actually a direction of dismantling of the MSP.
Our next exhibition performance is Pitt Avaaz.
All those days watching from the windows, all those years outside looking in, all that time never even knowing just how blind I've been. Now she's here, shining in the starlight. Now she's here, suddenly I know. Standing here, it's all so clear. I'm where I want to be. And at last I see the light, and it's like the fog has lifted. And at last I see the light, and the sky is blue, and it's warm and real and bright, and the world has somehow shifted. All at once, everything is different now that I see you. And I'll rise up, rise like the day, I'll rise up in spite of the end. I will rise 1,000 times again. All we need is hope that we have each other, that we have each other. Yeah. We will rise, we will rise, we will rise, we will rise.
Performing next from Durham, North Carolina, we have Duke Dhamaka.
Happy think I'm a player. She keep running back though, only cause I pay her. Roxanne, all she wanna do is party all night. ਸਮਝੋਂ ਵੀ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਓ ਯੱਕਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਜਾਓ ਵੀ ਮਠੀਏ ਤੇ ਲਾਈ ਜਰਾ ਤੂੰ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਯਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਯੱਕਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਜਾਓ ਵੀ ਮਠੀਏ ਤੇ ਲਾਈ ਜਰਾ ਤੂੰ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਯਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ
Up next, from Athens, Georgia, we have Classic City Bhangra.
You're in the mix with Juicy Babe. Easy, baby.
Our next exhibition performance is CMU Jiya.
Take control of me, get the vibe. देखो देखो क्या वो पेड़ है चादर ओढ़े या खड़ा कोई बारिश है या आसमान में छोड़ दिए हैं नल खुले कहीं हो हम जैसे देखे ये जहां है वैसा ही जैसी नजर अपनी खुद के सोचे आओ वक्त जरा फैलाओ रंग में दिखराओ चलो 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 नए ख्वाब बोले
Performing next from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, we have First Class Bhangra.
Up next, from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India, we have JattSquad.
You in the mix with Mix and Mana.
ਬੱਲੇ 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 ਜੀ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਹਿੱਟ ਗੀਤ ਸੁਣਾਵਾਂ ਪਰ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੀ ਘਾਟ ਹੋਣ ਕਾਰਨ ਕੁਝ ਮਕਬੂਲ ਗੀਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੁਖੜੇ ਸੁਣਾ ਰਿਹਾ
Our next exhibition performance is Pitt Sangeet.
जाने जाने लिए
मेरे मन ये बता दे तू किस ओर चला है तू क्या पाया नहीं तूने क्या ढूंढ रहा है तू जो है अनकही जो है अनसुनी वो बात क्या है बता मितवा कहे धड़कने तुझसे मितवा ये खुद से खुदा तुम छुपा
नगर में प्रेम नगर में जीवन नगर में प्रेम नगर में आए नजर में जब से कोई है
तो सोचता है तो पूछता है जिसकी कमी थी क्या ये वही है हाँ ये वही है हाँ ये वही है तू एक प्यासा होने लगी है कहे नहीं इसको भूल के बताई जो है अनकही जो है अनसुनी वो बात क्या है बता मितवा कहे धड़कने तुझसे प्यार मितवा ये खुद से तू ना छुपा
आज जाने मैं जान तेनू देना कल संग वाली सारी मैं मिटा देनिया फोटो दिल ते कोने च जो लुका के सी मैं रखी अज अखां दे सामने खड़ा देनिया
on a fixed income and I don't really have enough money to make ends meet.
The kids need to eat, we need to eat.
I'm a dental hygienist, so I'm off work right now, which is strange for me because I'm used to working. So I've just been doing a lot of volunteering in my own community in McCandless.
You can see how grateful the people are when they receive this food, because I know, considering what's going on right now, just how desperately it's needed.
It means a lot. I mean, the food banks have always been there, but now they're really there to help those ones that are in need because of the crisis that's going on, and that's a good thing.
I think this is a great service. It's something the people need it.
It's wonderful. It saved our lives quite a few times. We didn't have any food, and it really helped us out a lot.
Thank you.
It's great to see the community and people coming together to try to help people in need. So it's a tough time for a lot of people right now, and it's just been such a blessing to be a part of.
रज के रुलाया
बच के हंसाया मैंने दिल खो के इश्क कमाया मांगा जो उसने.
Bhangra has quickly become one of the most well-known and vibrant art forms representing Punjabi culture across the map. However, its origins stem all the way back to celebrations of proper harvest and livelihood by Punjabi farmers during the harvesting season. Farmers in Punjab would perform Bhangra after tending to their crops and doing other agricultural chores. Bhangra brought happiness and a bit of fun to what was otherwise a very laborious and tiresome job. The reason we are able to be here today and enjoy the art of Bhangra is because of these farmers, and they need our help now more than ever. Currently, farmers are demanding the repeal of 3 recent farming laws that would minimize the government's role in India's agricultural sector, allowing more room for private interests and leaving farmers vulnerable to huge price disparities and loss of income. For many years now, Indian farmers have suffered through the lack of modernization and rapidly declining productivity in agriculture, many even committing suicide due to crippling debt. The efforts to repeal these laws has only escalated, forcing farmers to take to the streets as they protest with their friends and family by their sides. Many of these farmers solely rely on their farming in order to put food on the table and a roof over their heads. With their livelihoods at risk, protests are breaking out all over India, but are concentrated in Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh, making their way towards New Delhi. We must stand in solidarity with the protesting farmers as they continue on foot while braving water cannons and tear gas. We are here as a unified Bhangra community because of the foundation created by Punjabi farmers, and it is our duty to help protesters and their families sustain their fight. As an organization that represents Punjabi culture, we recognize our responsibility towards the Punjabi community and the farmers who introduced us to this dance. Bhangra in the Burgh #stands with the farmers, and we want to reflect on how this situation transcends borders. Our organization urges you all to be educated, and thus we've compiled a list of resources and activists we recommend you follow to stay informed. We are also collaborating with the DasFund Network to fundraise for protesters and other leaders of this movement. The DasFund Network aims to provide financial and medical assistance to protesting farmers through their Save Our Farmers project. A link to our very own donation page with the DasFund Network will be linked below. We hope you enjoy the remainder of the showcase and encourage you all to stay cognizant of why we are here and how we can help. Best, Bhangra in the Burgh 14 Executive Board. Performing next from Cleveland, Ohio, we have Spartan Bhangra.
सोचता हूँ कि वो कितने मासूम थे सोचता हूँ कि वो कितने मासूम थे क्या से क्या हो गए देखते देखते सोचता हूँ म्यूजिक नु दे दे
हाउ अखी बस कराए तो दिखी आई बरो ऐना लुट लिया मेरा दिल नी हो जान जना दी छण छण गूंजे मेरे कन्नी जदों
ain't what I meant when I said it bang, bang.
Performing next, from various locations in the United States, we have Duniya De Rang.
Brixton girls, them a pop the pum pum, them a wind up them waist, them a pop the pum pum. Queens, them girls, them a pop the pum pum, them a wind up them waist, them a pop the pum pum. Trinity, them girls, them a pop the pum pum, them a wind up them waist, them a pop the pum pum. Jamaican girls, them a pop the pum pum, them a wind up them waist, them a pop the pum pum.
Performing next from Houston, Texas, we have Rice Bhangra.
DJ Mama. ਉਹ ਦੇਸੀ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਨਾਲੇ ਵੱਲਦੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਘੁੰਮੀ ਨਾ ਤੂੰ ਜਾਣੀ ਗੱਲ ਦੇ I mean where should I really even start ਤੂੰ ਪਰ ਸਾਥੀਆਂ ਪਸੰਦ ਕਰਦੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨੇੜੇ ਵਾਲਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਉੱਠ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਮੌਵੇਂ ਆਦਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੱਪੀਆਂ ਥੋੜੇ ਜਿਹਾ ਰੂਡ ਥੋੜੇ ਆਰੂ ਗੰਡਿਆ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਮੌਵੇਂ ਆਦਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੱਪੀਆਂ ਥੋੜੇ ਜਿਹਾ ਰੂਡ ਥੋੜੇ ਆਰੂ ਗੰਡਿਆ ਓਏ ਛੋਟੂ ਉਮਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਛੋਟੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਕਾਰਨਾਮੇ ਵੱਡਿਆ ਕੰਡੇ ਤੇ ਕਹਾਉਂਦੇ ਕੰਡੇ ਪਹਿਲੀਆਂ ਚ ਕੱਢਿਆ ਕੰਡੇ ਪੂਰੇ ਕਿਲਨੀ ਗੱਡਰ ਜੇ ਦਿਲਨੀ ਦੀ ਜਵਾਨੀ ਹਿੱਕਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਠਾਦੀ ਲੈ ਮੇਰੀ ਪੰਤੂ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਕਸੂਰ ਸੇਲੀਆਂ ਚ ਖੜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਐ ਹੂਰ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਮੋਟਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਹਵਾ ਕੇ ਉੱਤੋਂ ਤੂੰ 11 ਨੋਟ 100 ਦੇ ਵਾਲੇ ਸੂਰ ਇੱਕ ਲਾਦੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਕਸੂਰ ਸੇਲੀਆਂ ਚ ਖੜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਐ ਹੂਰ ਆਮੀ ਨਾ ਬਿਜਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਤਾਰੀਫ ਤੇਰਾ ਮੇਰੀ ਬੰਦਲਾ ਤੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਮਨਾ
Performing our next exhibition performance, we have CMU Raasta.
Last one back is a broken dandiya. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Only the Avatar, master of all four elements, could stop them.
Up next, from Corvallis, Oregon, we have OSU Bhangra.
DJ Sridhar.
So let's take a look at these 3 farming acts that sparked the protest. Each of them deregulates a different part of the system. The first act creates free, unregulated trade spaces outside the markets. The laws in these spaces would override wholesale market rules. And although a lot of trade takes place outside already, what happens in the markets remains a benchmark across the industry. But this act will create 2 parallel markets with very different rules, one with oversight and another that creates room for big corporate players to come in unregulated.
And in this dual market structure, the players in the regulated markets are bound to move out and operate in the deregulated spaces, and that is where farmers are going to lose out when these traditional spaces collapse onto themselves.
The second act creates a framework for contract farming deals. Any business agreements would be strictly between farmers and traders with little oversight, giving farmers few options to fight bad deals. As these agreements increase outside of wholesale markets, they could further fragment the market and leave small farmers dependent on terms set by big corporations or be cut out of the industry altogether.
ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫੇਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਦਾ ਰੇਟ ਤੈਅ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਇਸ ਰੇਟ ਨੂੰ ਵਧਾਉਣਗੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਪੂਰੀ ਦੀ ਪੂਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਮੰਡੀ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਬਜ਼ਾ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਇਹ ਆਪਦਾ
ਮੰਡੀ ਆ ਜਾਏਗੀ तो वो हमारा वो सिस्टम खत्म हो जाएगा.
The third act affects a different part of the chain. It eliminates the storage limits previously set by the government to control prices. Unlimited storage means that anyone with enough money can stock up. The problem is, without oversight, they can also start dictating prices. Altogether, the 3 acts invite big players into a fragmented and deregulated market that could lead to volatile prices for farmers.
And by deregulating the markets, the government has also put out a message in the same breath, essentially saying that they think farmers don't need any protection anymore from the government.
On June 3, 2020, when the government announced the farming reforms, it didn't take long for the impact to be felt on the ground. Wholesale markets around the country have already seen fewer crops arrive in their market yards. In the state of Madhya Pradesh, more than 40 markets have lost business.
Trading has moved out of regulated market spaces, and it is not as though good prices are being fetched by farmers. And this is the context in which farmers' anger has to be understood. They didn't get what they wanted, and what was thrust down upon them is very different from what they were asking for.
कि किसानों को इस कानून की ज़रूरत नहीं थी, इस कानून को रद्द किया जाए और जो हमारी मीटिंगें हुई हमारे नेताओं की उनके साथ उसमें वो एक बात बोलते हैं वो छल करते हैं।
ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਸਿੱਖੀਆਂ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਗਾਂ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਪੀੜ੍ਹੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਲੜਨਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆ ਵਾਜਬ ਆ। ਇੱਕ ਚਿੜੀ ਆ ਉਹਦਾ ਜੇਕਰ ਕੋਈ ਆਲਣਾ ਵੀ ਤੋੜਦਾ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਚਿੜੀ ਵੀ ਚੈਂ ਚੈਂ ਕਰਦੀ ਰੌਲਾ ਪਾਉਂਦੀ ਆ।
Performing next from Detroit, Michigan, we have Raakhe Virse Cultural Academy.
Performing our next exhibition performance, we have CMU Saans.
Performing next, from Columbus, Ohio, we have Columbus Bhangra Crew.
मासूम जिया नी तेरे दिल च शैतानी चेहरा मासूम जिया नी तेरे दिल च शैतानी मेरा दिल लुटी जावे नी तेरे गाल वाली ही गानी मेरा दिल लुटी जावे नी ਨੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਗਲ ਵਾਲੀ ਹੀ ਗਾਨੀ ਚਿਹਰਾ ਮਾਸੂਮ ਜਿਹਾ ਨੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਦਿਲ ਚ ਸ਼ੈਤਾਨੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਦਿਲ ਲੁੱਟੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਨੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਗਲ ਵਾਲੀ ਹੀ ਗਾਨੀ
ਸਾਡੇ ਇਸ਼ਕ ਨੂੰ ਦਰਜਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਜਾਂ ਨਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਕੋਈ ਗਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਦਿਲ ਚ ਥੋੜੀ ਥਾਂ ਮਿਲੇ ਜਾਂ ਨਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਕੋਈ ਗਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੁਣ ਸੋਹਣਿਆ ਤੇਰੀ ਯਾਦ ਨਾਲ ਵੇ ਮੈਂ ਖੇਡਦੀ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤ ਵੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਇਸ਼ਕ ਸਿਰ ਛੜ ਬੋਲਦਾ ਹੁਣ ਇਸ਼ਕ ਸਾਡੀ ਜ਼ਾਤ Shorty a little baddie Shorty my little boo and Shorty got the fatty Shorty be catching moves
Tribal run it back
ਮੜ ਗਿਆ ਪੱਪ ਜਿੱਤੇ ਅਸਲਾਏ ਟੱਪ ਚ ਦਬਿਆ ਨੀ ਜੱਟ ਬਿੱਲ ਪਏ ਕਿਸੇ ਟੱਪ ਚ ਮੜ ਗਿਆ ਪੱਪ ਜਿੱਤੇ ਅਸਲਾਏ ਟੱਪ ਚ ਦਬਿਆ ਨੀ ਜੱਟ ਬਿੱਲ ਪਏ ਕਿਸੇ ਟੱਪ ਚ ਕਿਸੇ ਟੱਪ ਚ ਪੱਲ ਦੱਸਾਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਖੈਰ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਛੱਡਦਾ ਨੀ ਪੈਰ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਬਾਬੂ ਦਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਚੰਗੀ ਗੋਰੀਏ ਆਹ ਗੱਲ ਗੱਭਰੂ ਤੇ 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 ਚੰਗੀ ਗੋਰੀਏ
Haven't done my taxes, I'm too turned up
Performing next from Ithaca, New York, we have Cornell Bhangra.
ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸਭ ਸੱਚ ਵੀਰੇ ਜੋ ਜੋ ਤੂੰ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਤੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਬਸ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੀਤੀਆਂ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਸਾਲੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਡੰਗ ਮਾਰਦੇ ਆ ਬੁੱਕਲਾਂ ਚ ਖੇਡਦੇ
We are Cornell Bhangra and we are advocating for the rights and livelihoods of India's Kisan because
women in agriculture are not often recognized as farmers despite their large contributions to this sector. This marginalization makes them especially vulnerable to exploitation by the private sector under these new bills.
American history has shown how food commercialization breaks our connections to the food we consume, leads to low wages and poor working conditions with limited access to healthcare, and devastates agricultural communities.
There is an urgent need to improve the economic structures in rural India to have a sustainable and robust growth model for the country's exploding population.
Sustainable agriculture, as advocated by several farming NGOs, can meet society's present food needs without compromising those of future generations by promoting a healthy environment, economic viability for farmers, and social and economic equity.
We hope you enjoy the performance.
ਸਾਡਾ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਤੇ ਦੁਲਾਰ ਭਾਂਗੜੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੈ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਹੈ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੂਰੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਾਂ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਏਕਤਾ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਾਬਾਦ
ਦੱਸ ਦੇ ਦੇਖ ਮਾੜਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇਰਾ ਦਿਲ ਕਾਹਤੋਂ ਕੱਟਦਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੌੜਿਆ ਆ ਮੂਸੇ ਵਾਲੇ ਜੱਟ ਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਆਪੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾਵੇਂਗਾ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਸਮਤ ਤੋਂ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਨਰੇ
Performing our final exhibition of the night, we have Nrityamala.
A Pushpanjali is a traditional part of South Indian classical dance recitals, in which the dancer offers flowers and salutations to Lord Nataraja and their guru, musicians, and audience. Pure dance movements of footwork, synchronized with broad body movements and stylized hand gestures, follow a series of rhythmic syllables set to a musical scale in 12 beats. Nrityamala presents Pushpanjali in Ranjani Ragam, Chatusrajati Atatalam, composed by Sri Madurai R. Muralidharan.
Performing next, from Washington, D.C., we have Yaariyan.
Broadcast system. This is not a test. Repeat, this is not a test. The Center for Disease Control is reporting the outbreak.
Trust me, they don't wanna play me. Yaar mere sare de haveli. Trust me, they don't wanna play me. Yaar mere sare de haveli.
ਖਾਵੇ ਬੰਦਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਨ ਤੋਂ ਮਾਰਦੀ ਫਕਾਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਅਫਗਾਨ ਤੋਂ
Getting money like a J.
ਉਹ ਲਿਮਟ ਚ ਖਾਵੇ ਬੰਦਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਨ ਤੋਂ ਮਾਰਦੀ ਫਕਾਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਅਫਗਾਨ ਤੋਂ ਚਿੱਟਾ ਚਿੱਟਾ ਪੀ ਕੇ ਚੋਕਲੇ ਜੇ ਫੂਕਦੇ ਚਿੱਟਾ ਚਿੱਟਾ ਪੀ ਕੇ ਚੋਕਲੇ ਜੇ ਫੂਕਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਸਾਂ ਟੱਪਦੇ ਆ 40 45 ਗੋਰੀਏ ਕਾਲੀ ਰੇਂਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਾ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਦੀ ਡੱਬੀ ਚਾਂਦੀ ਦੀ ਡੱਬੀ ਚ ਰੱਖਾ ਕਾਲੀ ਗੋਰੀਏ ਕਾਲੀ ਰੇਂਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਾ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਦੀ ਡੱਬੀ
Chachi, is this your beat?
Our last performance of the night, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, is our very own CMU Bhangra.
This meeting is being recorded.
ਵੀ ਗੈਰੀਆ ਨਾਲ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਲਾਇਆ ਪਾਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਯਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਧੋਖਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਚੱਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਬੜੇ ਚੱਲੇ ਉਹ ਪੂਰੇ ਝੋਟੀ ਦੇ ਖਿਡਾਰੀ ਖੁੰਝੇ ਲਾਏ ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਖੁੱਲੇ ਮੈਦਾਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਿਰਦੇ ਹਵਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੋਸਤਾਂ ਉੱਡਦੇ ਹਵਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੋਸਤਾਂ ਉੱਡਦੇ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਜੁੱਤੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਨੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਜੁੱਤੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਨੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਖੜ ਜਾਣੀ ਮਿੱਠੀਆਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਠੋਕਾਂਗੇ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਖੜ ਜਾਣੀ ਮਿੱਠੀਆਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਠੋਕਾਂਗੇ
ਅੱਖਾਂ ਨਾ ਮਿਲਾਵੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਾਨ ਕੱਢੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੂੰ ਕੋਲ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਆਵੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਦਿਲ ਤੜਪਾਵੇ ਤੂੰ
ਦਿਲ ਤੜਪਾਵੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਦਿਲ ਤੜਪਾਵੇ ਤੂੰ ਦਿਲ ਤੜਪਾਵੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਦਿਲ ਤੜਪਾਵੇ ਤੂੰ
ਅੱਖਾਂ ਨਾ ਮਿਲਾਵੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਾਨ ਕੱਢੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੂੰ ਕੋਲ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਆਵੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਦਿਲ ਤੜਪਾਵੇ ਤੂੰ ਆਈ ਨੀ ਮਨ ਮੋੜੀਏ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਕੀ ਪਰਦਾ ਆਈ ਨੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਾਨੀਏ ਹਾਈ ਨੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਤੇਰੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਮਰਦਾ ਹਾਈ ਨੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਾਨੀਏ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਦੱਸ ਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਨਾ
All my life, grinding all my life, sacrifice, hustle pay the price. ਉਹ ਜਦੋਂ ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਤੁਰਦਾ ਏ ਨਾਲ ਕਾਫਲਾ ਦੀ ਵੱਡੇ ਅਖਬਾਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਛਾਪਣਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਤੁਰਦਾ ਏ ਨਾਲ ਕਾਫਲਾ ਵੱਡੇ ਅਖਬਾਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਛਾਪਣਾ ਟੀਵੀ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਅੱਖ ਸਾਡੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਟੇਕਦੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਖਬਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੰਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਬਹਿਨ ਕਰਦੀ ਓਏ ਉਹੀ ਕੰਮ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਨ ਤੋਂ ਤੂੰ ਟੱਚ ਕਰਦੀ ਨੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੋਤਰੀ ਨੀ ਬੈਠਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਯਾਰ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਨ ਤੋਂ ਤੂੰ ਟੱਚ ਕਰਦੀ ਨੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੋਤਰੀ ਨੀ ਬੈਠਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਯਾਰ ਹੋਊਗਾ All my life, grinding all my life, sacrifice, hustle pay the price. One slice, got to roll the dice, that's why all my life I've been
ਦਿਲ ਟੁੱਟੇ ਆਸ਼ਿਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਹਿਫਿਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਕਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਬਹਿ ਸਜਣਾ ਉਹ ਦਿਲ ਟੁੱਟੇ ਆਸ਼ਿਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਹਿਫਿਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਕਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਬਹਿ ਸਜਣਾ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਮਿੱਠੇ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਠੱਗਦੇ ਨੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਪਾਸਾ ਵੱਟ ਕੇ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਨੇ ਆ ਸਾਥੋਂ ਤਜਰਬੇ ਲੈ ਸਜਣਾ ਉਹ ਦਿਲ ਟੁੱਟੇ ਆਸ਼ਿਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਹਿਫਿਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਕਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਬਹਿ ਸਜਣਾ ਉਹ ਦਿਲ ਟੁੱਟੇ ਆਸ਼ਿਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਹਿਫਿਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਕਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਬਹਿ ਸਜਣਾ ਨਾਨੋ ਵਾਲੇ
ਤੂੰ ਹਾਰ ਨਾ ਵੇ ਸਮਝੀ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹੀਦਾ ਵਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਵਿਖਾਈਦਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜੱਟ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਪੁੱਤ ਜੱਟ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਪੁੱਤ ਜੱਟ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਬੋਲਦਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਬਾਪੂ ਵਾਲੀ ਪੱਕੀ ਬੋਲਦੀ ਪੁੱਤ ਜੱਟ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਬੋਲਦਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਬਾਪੂ ਵਾਲੀ ਪੱਕੀ ਬੋਲਦੀ
Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
The recording has stopped.
This show showcase would not have been possible without the hard work and commitment of all those involved.
Thank you to all 25 members of our amazing executive board and all the hard work that you all have put in the last year.
Thank you to Kunal Maheshwari, aka Tycoon, for coordinating everything that went into this year's mixtape, which features himself, DJ Law, Dr. Shremix, Momo, and Kahani. It's a certified banger, my guy.
Thank you to Casey Palco, Vanessa Branch, CMU Slice, and Carnegie Mellon University for all your help and guidance during these difficult times.
Thank you to all the participating teams in our showcase today and the hours that you all have put in rehearsing, filming, and editing the performances that we had the privilege of showcasing today.
And of course, thank you to you all for watching the showcase. Stay safe, wear your masks, and have a great night. Peace.